Well, I think you are right. It's about time we had a serious conversation about how to get a large business loan with EIN only. So, today, what I want to do, I want to share with viewers and listeners the top 10 large business loans with EIN only, guaranteed approval. No personal guarantee required, low FICO welcome, no collateral. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Story Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you are to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to speak to you about the top 10 large business loans with EIN only, guaranteed approval. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me first say that when we speak about EIN only, we're speaking about what? Employer identification number. So what I want you to do is I want you, before you apply, even if you have an EIN only, make sure your business, the way you run your business, is made in such a way that the lender will believe that there is a segregation, a separation of activities between your personal affairs and your business's affairs. What I'm trying to say here is that you need to have a business bank account, you need to have a business credit card, you need to run your business separately from your personal affairs. Even if you are a single person business, you need to incorporate as a single member LLC, or you got to have some kind of, you can incorporate. Otherwise, you can be a C corporation or S corporation, but you got to be a business, because we've seen a lot of people who have the EIN, they have received it from the IRS, but the EIN is sitting in their closet. No, you need to use it. You need to put it into action. All right. So a lot of lenders, when they on the business loan application, they ask for a gross annual sales, years in business. They might ask for the first and last name of the founder or founders, phone number, email address, and the legal business name. They might also ask for business and personal credit reports, business and personal income tax returns, balance sheet, business plan. Business plan is very important, folks. In any business loan application, if you want to put forward the EIN only aspect of things, you got to take care of business plan. The business plan is the fulcrum. It is the cornerstone of a solid business loan application. So don't forget that. All right. Before I get into the actual ranking here, please check out this short video. It tells you our proven methodology when it comes to reviewing, categorizing, and listing business loans on this channel. Check this out. All right, let's get into the rankings. Number 10, we have BlueVine. Our score, 7.5 over 10. So BlueVine is an online lending service that's suited for small businesses. They offer term loans, lines of credit, invoice factoring, SBA PPA loans, and they are one of the most accessible invoice factors available and a good choice for for business owners who want to apply for EIN only business loans. What are the pros and cons here? Financing is available for startups and entrepreneurs. Low credit score qualifications. The application is fast and easy. Funds get disbursed quickly. That's the pros. What about the cons? Financing is not available in some states, based on our research, and rates can be expensive. Repayments are required quickly, and customer service is sometimes inconsistent. In terms of the loan amounts, they can lend you from $50,000 all the way to $250,000, $250,000. Minimum time to funding 1 day, and the required annual revenue is the minimum is $100,000. And in terms of credit score, they might accept anybody with credit score minimum of 500. Okay, so even if we're talking here about EIN, in some cases, in some parts of the country, they might want to see the credit score of the founder. But again, it's very low. The minimum requirement is very low. Number 9, folks, we have Fundera. Our score, 8 over 10. So Fundera is really, they're not a direct lender. They are a business funding matchmaker who will match you with up to 10 or 15 business funders that you may qualify for, okay? So Fundera is a great place to start your search for business funding, including term loans, SBA loans, and invoice factoring, all right? And in terms of the borrowing amount, 50,000 up to 250,000. The pros, multiple types of financing available. The website's advertising is clear and transparent. We love that. Transparency is wonderful on Fundera. Customer service is helpful, and you have multiple avenues of customer support. In terms of cons, rates can be, in our analysis, sometimes expensive, and there are some additional fees that are charged, okay? So Fundera is a great business funding matchmaker when it comes to installment loans, short-term loans, lines of credit, equipment loans, and SBA loans. Again, if you're looking for purely EIN only business loans, Fundera is a great choice. Number 8, folks, we have U.S. business funding. Our score, 8 over 10. U.S. business funding offers many different financial products to help business owners score the capital they need. And this is a great EIN only business loan funder and business loan provider rather. And we love the fact that they're really fast and they will fund you up to $1 million. Okay. And what are the pros? Borrower qualifications are lower than going through banks. You have multiple types of financing available. High borrowing amounts, $1 million. That's pretty cool. The application process is fast and easy. Funds are disbursed quickly. And we love the fact that they have a stellar customer service. What about the cons? In some cases, based on our analysis, rates can be expensive, and they are also charging some additional fees in some parts of the country. So if you're looking for equipment financing, business term loans, SBA loans, working capital loans, all relied on EIN only, you want to contact U.S. Business Funding. Great choice. Number 7, folks, we have Breakout Capital. Our score, 8.5 over 10. Breakout Capital offers short-term business financing solutions to small businesses, and they have lower borrower qualifications, prepayment discounts, and easy renewal process. We love that in their business model. And in terms of the borrowing amount, you're looking at $50,000 all the way to $250,000. Minimum time to funding 1 day. That's pretty cool, right? When you really, if you really need the cash fast, Breakout Capital is one serious lender to consider. What are the pros and cons here? Pros: this company is suited for small businesses and startups. They have relaxed borrower qualifications, so even if you have bad credit, no credit, doesn't matter. Again, here we are only focusing on EIN only. And so if the business has bad credit, it's still okay. You have competitive terms and fees. And the customer service is stellar. We love it. And the cons, they have potentially high factor rates in some cases. So one thing you need to understand here is that Breakout Capital actually, they have two avenues of revenue. Okay, first, they are a direct lender, and they also act as a business funding matchmaker. So they offer standard business loans and something called Factor Advantage. So because Factor Advantage is designed to be used in conjunction with invoice factoring services, Breakout Capital does not require any specific time in business, revenue, or credit score. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about the top 10 guaranteed approval business loans with EIN only. Number 6, we have here Street Shares. Our score, 8.5 over 10. So Street Shares is a direct lender. They are an online lender that offers business installment loans, lines of credit, and contract financing. And what are the pros and cons here? Borrower qualifications are lower than traditional banks. Rates tend to be inexpensive, in other words, very cheap. No prepayment penalties, and the application process is fast and easy. What about the cons? You have low borrowing amounts. Customer service is sometimes inconsistent. One thing I want to clarify here is that This loan service, the Street Shares, was originally founded by veterans, for veterans. Okay, so but the cool thing here is you don't have to be a veteran to use this service, but it is an excellent resource for those who are. So regardless of whether or not you are a veteran, Street Shares offers some mighty compelling reasons to use its service. Number 5, folks, we have Smart Biz. Our score, 9.5. Oh, 9 over 10. 9 over 10. And this is a great company. SmartBiz provides SBA, 7A, and PPP loans to small and large businesses. And we love the fact that they actually cover the whole spectrum of risks here, in terms of people who have people and businesses who have bad credit, low credit, no credit, doesn't matter. They will work with you. What are the pros and cons here? Pros: they have an excellent public reputation, low interest rates. They have no prepayment penalty, transparent terms and fees. We love the transparency when it comes to a SmartBiz's fee model is fantastic. They have great customer support. What about the drawbacks here? They have a lengthy application process, and in some cases, we've seen some additional fees that actually crept into the loan application process. All right, and one thing you need to remember here is that in terms of borrowing amount, you're looking at $50,000 all the way to $1 million, and you got to have a minimum time to funding 1 week or less. So it takes a little longer, but you can get a large business loan. Number 4, folks, we have here P2P Investor. Our score, 9 over 10. So P2P Investor, when you think about P2P Investor, I want you to think about a peer-to-peer lender that offers asset-backed lines of credit to qualified B2B businesses. In some cases, they also offer term loans and other kinds of business funding and working capital loans. And the initial application is fast and easy, and the company is transparent and communicative. We love that. We reached out to them. They were getting back to us very quickly, so that's fantastic. What are the pros and cons here? The pros: no credit score requirements, high borrowing amounts, rates tend to be inexpensive, and the application process is very quick. The cons: the only cons that's important in our view is that it's only available to B2B business. So if you are in a B2C operating model, you're not going to qualify for a P2P investor. And it's not available to businesses in some industries, and some additional fees are charged. Collateral is required in some cases. Okay, something you need to be aware of. And one thing I want to say here is that I think I've already said it. So the borrowing amount is $50,000 to $1 million, and they want you to be in business at least for 1 year. Number 3, folks, we have Loan Builder, which is a PayPal service. Our score, 9.5 over 10. This is fantastic. Loan Builder has been doing a lot of great work lately, and when they started a few years ago, they were a little timid at the beginning, but now PayPal has really restructured the business model to be more in sync with what the market is looking for. So Loan Builder has been doing great lately. It is a small business loan service offered by PayPal, and Loan Builder stands out with flexible terms, low borrower requirements, and relatively inexpensive loans. And this is ideal if your business needs a short-term infusion of capital. And here the borrowing amount, $50,000 all the way to $1 million, minimum time to funding 1 day. What are the pros and cons here? Pros: borrower qualifications are lower than traditional lenders, including banks. Low credit score requirements, no extra fees. The application process is very fast. We have tested it. Funds get dispersed quickly. What about the cons? It's not available to businesses in some industries. No discounts for repaying early. No long-term financing options available. And in some cases, we've seen that a blanket lien was required. So there's something you need to be aware of. And yeah. Now let's go to number 2. We have OnDeck. Our score, 9.5 over 10. And OnDeck is a hugely prolific online small business lender, and they offer 2 types of business loans: short-term loans and revolving lines of credit. In some cases, we've seen that they were funding other operating models, but they want to stick to their original core business, which is to lend for short-term loans and revolving lines of credit. And the cool thing here is that they have great pros and cons. What are the pros? Borrower qualifications are very low, multiple types of financing available, lower cost for repeat customers rather. The application process, in our view, is extremely fast. Funds are disbursed quickly, and you can use OnDeck to build business credit. What about the cons? Financing is not available in some states, and they're not available to businesses in some industries, and the rates can be expensive depending upon the application and the industry you're in. The borrowing amount less than $50,000 all the way to $1 million. They want the credit score minimum is 550 at the personal level, even though it doesn't matter, and the minimum time to funding is 1 day. Number one, folks, when it comes to the top 10 guaranteed approval business loans with EIN only. Number one, IOU Financial. IOU Financials, 10 over 10. We love this company. This is a short-term lender serving small businesses. So if you're going the short-term, non-traditional lending route, IOU has a relaxed credit score requirements. Be prepared, however, for some additional fees in some cases, okay? And the borrowing amount oscillates between $10,000 and $1 million. Minimum time to funding, 1 day, okay? Pretty fast. And what are the pros and cons here? The borrower, they have relaxed borrower qualifications. We love that. They have high borrowing amounts. Financing is suitable for quick business financing. The application process is really fast, and the website advertising is clear and informative. We love that. What about the cons? Rates can be expensive sometimes, and sometimes they even charge you additional fees. And their business model, their lending model, is actually kind of focuses on frequent repayments. So this is something you have to think about if it actually suits your business, your own cash flows. And with IOU, there is no long-term financing option available. Something you need to be aware of. All right. So with IOU, you have short-term loans, business loans, working capital loans, all kinds of loans. All right, folks. This is it for today's conversation. I was just having a quick convo with you about the top 10 guaranteed approval business loans with EIN only. And let's do a quick recap here. Number one, we have IOU Financial, 10 over 10. Number two, we have OnDeck, 9.5 over 10. Number three, we have Loan Builder, a PayPal service, 9.5 over 10. Number four, we have P2P Investor, 9 over 10. Number five, we have Smart Base, 9 over 10. Number six, we have Street Shares, 8.5 over 10. Number seven, we have Breakout Capital, 8.5 over 10. Number eight, we have U.S. Business Funding, 8 over 10. Number nine, we have Fundera, 8 over 10. And number 10, last but not the least, we have BlueVine, 7.5 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention, folks. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.